we got a request coming to us by Jake Langford. Thank you very much, Jake. This is Rock and Roll Nerd by Tim Minchin. So everybody go support the original. Hilarious comic, a very dry humor. He said the top one is good. This is on the official Tim Minchin channel, so leave a like and subscribe there. Let me see. I am subscribed. Okay. Like the video. I'm gonna give everybody the link in the chat and let's just dive into this. Thank you, Jake.
He doesn't have a problem with drugs. He just doesn't get them. He's fine that his mates have tattoos, but he thinks they'll regret them. He likes going to pubs, but he hates it when the music's too loud. He tends not to go to rock concerts, cause he can't stand the crowds. But all he's ever wanted to be is a rock star on Rage or MTV. But he knows that it's not fucking likely. He just turned 30. He knows that he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep writing songs the world will never hear, and though they won't be heard, he'll just keep writing. Oh yeah, but you see the problem is he always dreamt of being a star, but he learned piano instead of guitar, which in the 90s didn't get you very far. So while the other kids were learning Stairway,
He's talking about himself.
he was the piano to their forte, but he was convinced one day he'd rock their fucking asses and be an icon for the disenfranchised masses, and grow his hair long and rebel against the state. But just for now that'd have to wait, cause he's running late for his morning classes, and he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep playing gigs that no one knows about, and though it sounds absurd, he'll just keep playing. Oh yeah, but you see the problem is there's not much depth in what he's singing. He's a victim of his upper middle class upbringing, so he can't write about the hood or bling bling. So he sits and imagines his girlfriend is dead, to try and evoke some angst in his middle class head. But the bitch is always fine at 9:30 when they go to bed. And he's not spent
Sahars tipped 30 euros. King of Nefip 2 featuring Ninja YNL.
I got you, man. Thank you.
He has no issues with nutrition. He has no drinking problem and no drug addiction. Unless you count the drugs they put in chicken. And marijuana always tends to make him cough. He doesn't look good with his t-shirt off, and when he tries to act tough, you can tell he's tricking. While his mates will go out late, popping pills and having fun, he goes home and showers and gets a good 8 hours. He gets his thrills from his morning run, and while his mates will go on dates, taking speed and drinking cans of Jim Beam, he stays home and cooks, curls up with the book with the girl he's had since he was 17. Cause he's never really been part of the scene. Give him Guns N' Roses, he'll take Queen. He's more into Beatles than the Stones. He's more Stevie Wonder than Ramones. And he's never
rock band
owned a
references.
metal band. He never shot a Pantera band. He doesn't know the difference between metal and thrash. He couldn't tell you nothing about Axl and Slash. He likes Ben Folds and the Jackson 5. He knows all the words to Staying Alive. And though he wants to be all crunchy and cool, he spent 11 years at a private school. So it don't matter how he tries, he cannot hide behind his rock and roll lies. Cause you've either got it or you don't. You'll either rock it or you won't. You've either got it or you don't.
And now it gets very rock and roll.
He knows that his music lacks depth, but it just can't be helped. He has nothing interesting to say, so he writes about himself.
This is breaking the fourth
He
wall.
doesn't want to seem self-obsessed, so he writes in third person. In an attempt to seem more rock and roll, but he suspects it's not working. And deep in his heart he knows that he'll never be Silverchair or Eskimo Joe. And even if he was quite pretty with small pants like Kylie, he knows that he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep writing songs the world don't care about. Though it sounds absurd, he'll just keep writing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You can criticize him, but he won't care, care, 'cause he wants to rock, and he will never be deterred. But he'll always be a fucked up little try-hard wannabe rock and roll nerd. Rock and roll nerd.
So I can definitely hear some type of Queen inspiration. You know, it's an interesting comic because I don't know any other comic. There might be other ones. I don't know too much about comedians, right? I don't know too many comedians, especially who do this. But he's a musician and a comedian because he's capable of just providing audibly pleasing music and actually playing instruments, songwriting, poetry, good flow and cadence. That was Stairway at the end. That was what it was. The dun 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 dun. What's the melody? Before I butcher it. That was Stairway to Heaven. I recognize it. Bum, bum, bum. Now I'm lost. How did it go? And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Yeah. Dream On. Now that's a different one. This was actually really interesting to listen to. Yeah, I know it's comedy, but what he did here, he's kind of switching towards the more rock and roll. It went double time. It went very rock. Da, 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 da. And goes to a slower part. It went very Queen towards the end. Man, we're going overtime like crazy. I think this one, to me, was the most enjoyable from like a music standpoint. Now, like comedy, they're all chill to just watch and have a good time too. Comedy isn't necessarily something that I'm like, yo, let's watch some comedy. Just most of the times I just don't really laugh that much at it. But when it's combined with music like this and it's very artistic, penmanship is on point with this man. Zoo can write. That's the original right there. And thank you very much for the request. I'm gonna go get some water and we're